Some people see the world as it is, others dream of what it could be. Steve Jobs was one of those dreamers. He was a man who looked at a complex world and saw a simpler, more elegant future. Born in San Francisco and adopted by a loving couple, Paul and Clara Jobs, his story did not begin in privilege. His father was a machinist, a man who worked with his hands. He taught young Steve the importance of craftsmanship. He showed him how to build things, how to care about the details, even the parts that no one would ever see. This lesson would echo throughout Steve's entire life, shaping every product he would ever create. His journey was not one of straight lines. It was a winding path filled with curiosity and, a touch of rebellion. In the suburbs of what would become Silicon Valley, he was surrounded by engineers and thinkers. But Steve was different. He was not just interested in how things worked. He was fascinated by why they should work for us, for humans. He was drawn to both technology and the arts, a combination that seemed strange to many at the time. He dropped out of college, yet he continued to drop in on classes that sparked his interest, like calligraphy. He saw beauty in the curves of letters, a beauty he believed could be part of our digital world. This unique blend of interests set him apart. He saw connections where others saw only divides. He believed that technology should not be cold and complicated. It should be warm, intuitive, and beautiful. It should feel personal. This was a radical idea in an era of giant, impersonal mainframe computers that filled entire rooms. Steve envisioned a computer for everyone, a tool that could amplify human creativity and connect us in new ways. He wasn't just building a machine, he was imagining a new relationship between people and technology, a partnership that would empower us all. He was planting a seed for a revolution. This early period was defined by a search for meaning. He traveled to India, seeking spiritual enlightenment. He explored different philosophies and ways of thinking. These experiences deepened his understanding of simplicity and intuition. He learned that the most powerful ideas are often the simplest ones. He returned to California with a clearer vision and a stronger sense of purpose. He was no longer just a curious young man. He was a visionary with a mission to put a dent in the universe. The stage was set, the ideas were forming, and the world was about to change forever. Every great story has a humble beginning. For Apple, that beginning was a garage. In 1976, alongside his friend, the brilliant engineer Steve Wozniak, Jobs embarked on an audacious venture. Wozniak had designed a remarkable personal computer board, a masterpiece of engineering. But it was Jobs who saw its true potential. He saw more than just a circuit board for hobbyists. He saw a finished product, something that could sit on a desk in anyone's home. He had the vision to take Wozniak's genius and package it for the world. This partnership was the perfect fusion of engineering prowess and visionary marketing. They started with nothing but passion and a belief in their idea. They sold their most prized possessions, Jobs his VW van and Wozniak his beloved programmable calculator, to fund their dream. In the humble setting of his parents' garage in Los Altos, California, they assembled the first Apple I computers by hand. It was a testament to their dedication. They were not just building a product, they were building a company from the ground up. They were pouring their youth, their energy, and their every waking moment into this single, focused goal. The name Apple itself was a touch of Jobsian simplicity, chosen because it sounded friendly, spirited, and not intimidating. The Apple II, their next creation, was the machine that truly launched the company. It was a revolution in a box. Unlike other computers of the time, it was designed for everyone. It came in a sleek, friendly plastic case. It could display color graphics. It was ready to use right out of the box. This was Steve's vision made real. He obsessed over every detail, from the shape of the case to the feel of the keyboard. He wanted the experience of using an Apple computer to be delightful. He was not just selling a tool, he was selling an experience, a new way of interacting with technology. With the success of the Apple II, the company grew at an incredible speed. The garage startup became a major player in the emerging personal computer industry. They were the rebels, the rock stars of the tech world, challenging the dominance of giants like IBM. Steve Jobs was at the helm, a young, charismatic leader driving the company forward with his intense passion and unwavering belief in his mission. He was creating a culture, a brand that stood for innovation, creativity, and the power of the individual. He was proving that a couple of friends in a garage could indeed change the world. Success can be a treacherous mountain. The higher you climb, the further you can fall. As Apple grew into a massive corporation, Steve's uncompromising vision and demanding style began to create friction. He was a perfectionist, pushing his teams to the absolute limit to achieve what he believed was possible. While this intensity produced incredible products like the first Macintosh, it also created conflict. The Macintosh, with its groundbreaking graphical user interface and mouse, was a glimpse into the future of computing. It was a machine that said hello, a friendly computer that promised to unleash our creativity. It was pure Steve Jobs. But the world of business is complex. In 1985, following a power struggle with the board of directors and the CEO he had hired, Steve Jobs was forced out of Apple. The company he had co-founded, the company that was his life's work, had cast him aside. It was a devastating and public blow. At just 30 years old, the man who had been the face of the personal computer revolution found himself on the outside looking in. For many, this would have been the end of the story. A tragic tale of a brilliant founder who lost control of his creation. But for Steve, it was something else entirely. He would later call this period one of the most creative of his life. The weight of running a giant company was gone. He was free to start again, to experiment, to innovate without constraints. He founded a new company called Next, which aimed to build powerful computers for the education and business markets. The Next computer was a technological marvel, far ahead of its time. It was a commercial failure, but the software it ran on was a masterpiece of engineering. It was sophisticated, stable, and powerful. It was a seed that would one day grow to save Apple itself. At the same time, he purchased a small computer graphics company from George Lucas. He saw potential in its small team of brilliant artists and engineers. That company was Pixar. Under Steve's guidance and financial backing, Pixar went on to revolutionize the animation industry, creating the world's first computer-animated feature film, Toy Story. He had taken his passion for technology and storytelling and merged them in a way no one had ever imagined. His time in the wilderness was not a failure. It was a period of immense growth, a necessary chapter that prepared him for his greatest act yet. By the mid-1990s, the company Steve Jobs had built was in trouble. Apple was on the brink of collapse. It had lost its way, its products were uninspired, and its future looked, well, pretty bleak. The company had a confusing array of products and had lost the innovative spark that once defined it. In a move that seemed like something out of a Hollywood movie, Apple, in a desperate search for a new operating system, decided to buy Next in 1997. The purchase was not just for the software, it was a way to bring its founder back home. Steve Jobs returned, first as an advisor, and soon as the interim CEO. His return was electric. He immediately set about trimming the fat, ruthlessly cutting projects and products that he felt were diluting Apple's focus. He simplified the product line down to just 4 core areas. He wanted to bring clarity and focus back to the company. His message was simple. Apple was going to make great products again. He launched the iconic Think Different advertising campaign, which celebrated the rebels, the misfits, and the creative geniuses who changed the world. It was a bold statement. It was not just about selling computers. It was about restoring the soul of Apple. The first major product of his second era was the iMac. It was a stunning piece of design. It came in a translucent, brightly colored shell, at a time when all other computers were beige boxes. It was an all-in-one machine that was incredibly easy to set up and use. The iMac was a declaration that Apple was back. It was fun, it was stylish, and it was a massive commercial success. It saved the company from bankruptcy and set the stage for a decade of unbelievable innovation. Steve was not just the CEO, he was Apple's chief editor, ensuring every product met his exacting standards of excellence. This was just the beginning of his second act. He had learned from his past mistakes. He was still intense and demanding, but he was also a more mature and focused leader. He had a clear roadmap for the future, a vision for a digital hub where the computer would be the center of our digital lives. He was about to lead Apple on one of the most remarkable comeback stories in business history. The world watched, wondering what he would do next. No one could have predicted the scale of the revolution he was about to unleash. Steve Jobs' vision extended far beyond the desktop computer. He saw that technology could untether us, that it could become a seamless part of our lives. In 2001, he introduced the iPod. It was not the first digital music player, but it was the first one that was truly great. It was small, elegant, and incredibly easy to use. Combined with the iTunes Store, it completely transformed the music industry. The slogan was simple and perfect, 1,000 songs in your pocket. It was a magical promise, and Apple delivered on it. The iconic white earbuds became a symbol of a new generation. But the iPod was just a stepping stone. Steve was dreaming of something even bigger. He saw the convergence of three devices: a revolutionary mobile phone, a widescreen iPod with touch controls, and a breakthrough internet communicator. In 2007, he stood on a stage and introduced the world to the iPhone. He did not introduce three separate devices. He introduced one. The iPhone was a moment that changed everything. Its multi-touch screen felt like science fiction. It put the power of the internet into our hands in a way that was intuitive and profoundly personal. It was not a device, it was a window to the world. The innovation did not stop there. In 2010, he unveiled the iPad, creating an entirely new category of device between the smartphone and the laptop. Many were skeptical at first, but Steve understood something fundamental about how we interact with content. He knew we wanted a more intimate and relaxed way to browse the web, read books, and watch videos. The iPad, like the iPhone and iPod before it, was a testament to his courage to create the future, not just react to it. He was building an ecosystem of hardware, software, and services that work together in perfect harmony. Steve Jobs passed away in 2011, but his legacy is all around us. It is in the devices we use every day, in the music we listen to, and in the films we watch. He taught us that technology can be beautiful. He showed us the power of simplicity. Most importantly, he inspired millions to think different, to challenge the status quo, and to chase their dreams with passion and conviction. He put a dent in the universe, and it is a dent that continues to expand, reminding us that the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do.